There are many questions out there about the history of humanity. People often ask, who are we? What is the meaning of life? What are our bodies built for? How did our ancestors die? These questions are just the tip of the iceberg. To answer these questions, we must dig deeper into the history of our human ancestors. There is an entire study based around answering these questions. The study that deals with the human societies and their development as a species is anthropology. The study also helps to determine at what time period did the human species start to emerge. As new archaeological discoveries are made, the human history we know today starts to shift. The anthropologists seek for differences in our body structures and genetics to figure out how closely we are related to other human species and at what time. The reason I'm discussing the history of the human species is to answer the most common arguments that non-believers of evolution make. They claim that if we evolved from apes, where are the half-human, half-ape ancestors today? The answer to that question is that they simply died, and we have proof of their existence in the fossil record. Also, there are some humans today who have the DNA of other human species that resemble those half-ape ancestors of ours. The species of humans alive today are called Homo sapiens. Our species is known to have existed for 200,000 years. Although that sounds like a long time, when we compare it to other human species, we're barely a speck of dirt. And we don't even compare it to the success of the dinosaurs. The dinosaurs were alive as far back as 230 million years ago. And some of them are still alive today because birds are technically dinosaurs. Although dinosaurs were incredible creatures, we have to thank the asteroid that wiped them out, because their extinction resulted in the rise of humans. So let us go back 6 million years in the remote Cadian desert of Africa, when the first known human-like skull called Tumai, which means hope of life to the Cadians, is said to be the first known ancestor of modern humans. That species of ape-like creature is known to be the first to walk upright. Then we discovered an almost complete fossil in Ethiopia of another hominid species, which means the first human-like species to walk upright. Finding a fossil this complete is so rare that the archaeologists often say it is next to impossible. She's an Australopithecus whose name is Lucy, and she dates back about 3 million years. She is known to have been about 3.5 feet tall and weighed around 65 pounds according to the Arizona State University. Lucy and her species are known to be the reason humans exist. There are around 10 currently known human species that existed, but the most well-known human species that lived a couple million years is undoubtedly Homo erectus. The species of humans are called the genus Homo, so Homo erectus are part of the same genus as us. With a flat face, minimal body hair, and facial features that closely resemble the Homo sapiens, Homo erectus are known to be the most successful species of humans so far, since they are known to have survived for about 1.8 million years according to the National Museum of Natural History. As many anthropologists have observed the Homo erectus fossil, they noticed that they had similar limb and torso proportions to modern humans, resulting in heights ranging from 5 to 6 feet tall. The oldest fossils of these humans were found in northern, eastern, and southern Africa. So they originated in Africa, and they have traveled to other countries like Eastern and Western Asia due to climate changes and animal migrations to the newly formed grasslands in Asia. Other commonly known human species are Homo rudolfensis, Homo capensis, Homo floresiensis, Homo habilis, Homo neanderthalensis, Homo denisova, and the recently discovered Homo naledi. Out of this species, Homo florensis is claimed to be the shortest, and it is nicknamed the Hobbit. Their fossils were found in a cave in one of the islands in Indonesia. Their short height is caused by the lack of resources in the islands caused by an evolutionary aspect known as island dwarfism. Homo habilis, Homo rudolfensis, and Homo erectus are said to have coexisted together and competed for resources. Homo neanderthalensis and Homo denisova are said to be related. Both of them have contributed to the gene pools of modern humans. Particularly, the Tibetan peoples have inherited the genes of Homo denisova, which have helped them survive in the high altitudes of Tibet. Lastly, the largest brained known human species, Homo capensis or Boskop man, used to live in South Africa. Boskop man had a small face and a long head, similar to how most people describe aliens. These human species are the steps it took for an ape to become a man. Scientists declare that the cause of their death are due to climate changes, natural disasters, and good old survival of the fittest. Others suggest that we Homo sapiens killed many of the other species, but I doubt that we would commit such an act because it's not like we humans have ever killed each other because we're different from one another. Another important human species is called the Heidelberg man or Homo heidelbergensis. They are known to have lived in Africa, Europe, and Asia since 600,000 years until 40,000 years ago. This species averaged a height of 6 feet and was much more muscular than our ancestor Homo sapiens. Not only was this species tall and muscular, but it also had a large brain like the Boskop man, which are both larger than our brains. So people may wonder, how did a species of human so strong and so smart die? Well, scientists say that as we develop bigger brains, we require a longer childhood for the brain to grow, since the size of the birth canal through which our head has to fit through when giving birth is limited. Due to that issue, the Heidelberg man needed to have more food and longer time for adulthood, which was a major disadvantage to their survival. So it wasn't a smart evolutionary trait to be smart. It shouldn't be a surprise that the strongest and the smartest human species didn't survive, because Charles Darwin once said,
"It is not the strongest of the species that survive, nor the most intelligent, but the one most responsive to change."
Although people may be quick to claim that a little bit of change and difference barely makes an impact in our success, they must understand that there's only about 2% difference in DNA between a human and a chimpanzee. But that 2% has made humans capable of doing this versus that of a chimpanzee. So imagine a being that is 2% different from us and what it could be capable of. That being could perhaps create our 100 years of progress in just a day. Then there are Homo sapiens, the human beings of today who have survived not because they were the strongest, not even the smartest of their own species, but they were the ones that changed and adapted to new surroundings. Our ancestors carried our species to success by adapting, evolving, and most importantly, changing our ideas. So it is up to us to push ourselves forward by viewing change as a positive force and making sure that our history is not buried in the sand. Remember, Gandhi once said,
The first step to changing the world is changing yourself.